If you want awesome products at great prices, check out the in the description. Exclusive, A license to kill nature. Experts slam proposed environmental levy in UK planning bill. A bombshell letter to UK members of Parliament exposes a potentially devastating loophole within Part 3 of the Planning and Infrastructure Bill. A nature levy that allows developers to bypass vital environmental protections by simply paying a fee. This alarming revelation has ignited a fierce debate, with leading scientists and economists warning of potentially catastrophic consequences for the nation's ecosystems and economy. The letter, signed by a formidable array of experts including Sir Partha Dasgupta, Professor Emeritus of Economics at the University of Cambridge, Sir John Lawton, Distinguished Ecology Professor, and Dr. Tom Tu, former Chief Scientist of Natural England, paints a stark picture of a system ripe for exploitation. They accuse the government of employing misleading rhetoric, portraying environmental regulations as obstacles to economic growth, while simultaneously creating a mechanism that effectively allows companies to cash in on environmental destruction. The proposed levy, which primarily affects England and Wales, allows developers to sidestep the existing legal framework designed to safeguard biodiversity and protect sensitive habitats. Instead of adhering to robust environmental impact assessments and mitigation strategies, companies could simply purchase their way out of compliance, paying into a national nature levy. This, the letter argues, creates a perverse incentive, a license to kill nature, undermining decades of environmental protection efforts. The signatories vehemently denounce the government's approach, stating unequivocally that the levy is not a tool for ecological recovery, but rather a mechanism that actively facilitates environmental damage. They provide compelling evidence to refute the notion that this mechanism would benefit the UK economy. Instead, they contend that the levy's implementation would inflict significant economic harm. Sir Partha Dasgupta, author of the landmark 2019 Treasury Review, which highlighted nature's critical role in economic prosperity and well-being, provides a powerful economic perspective. He argues that Part 3 of the bill will introduce a complex and contradictory legal framework, resulting in overlapping and conflicting regulations. This, he warns, will create unnecessary delays, increase costs, and fundamentally undermine investor confidence in environmentally responsible projects. The resulting complexity and uncertainty will hinder investment in genuine nature-based solutions, thus actively impeding the very economic growth the government claims to be promoting. The letter's authors meticulously dissect the flawed logic underpinning the proposed levy. They contend that the current system, while potentially requiring improvements, offers a far more robust and effective approach to environmental protection than the proposed cash for trash alternative. The existing framework, despite its imperfections, mandates rigorous environmental assessments, ensuring that development projects are designed to minimize ecological damage and incorporate appropriate mitigation measures. This contrasts sharply with the proposed levy, which offers no such guarantee. Furthermore, the letter highlights the lack of transparency and accountability inherent in the proposed system. There's no concrete assurance that the levy will be effectively managed, or that the funds collected will be genuinely reinvested in ecological restoration projects. The risk of misallocation, misuse, or simply insufficient funding to offset the environmental damage permitted under the levy is substantial. This lack of accountability introduces a significant moral hazard, potentially leading to widespread environmental degradation with minimal recourse. The signatories' call to action is clear. Remove Part 3 of the Planning and Infrastructure Bill and subject it to a thorough and independent review. They demand a proper consultation process, engaging with stakeholders across the scientific, economic, and environmental sectors, to ensure that any future legislation truly serves the best interests of the nation's natural capital and its economy. The current proposal, they argue, is a dangerous gamble with potentially irreversible consequences for the UK's environment and long-term prosperity. The letter's urgent appeal underscores the seriousness of the situation. It serves as a stark warning to MPs, urging them to consider the long-term implications of this potentially disastrous policy before it becomes law. The future of the UK's natural heritage and its economic well-being hangs in the balance. The question remains, will the government listen to the experts and reconsider this deeply flawed proposal, or will it proceed with a policy that risks permanently damaging the nation's environment and economic future? The clock is ticking.